there, bitch. Oh, hey, what's going on out there? This is Pete over at SWR&C. Now, what we're doing, we're finishing up on our concourse restoration on our 1974 VW Carmen Ghia, and we're at the final stage of the buffing. Now, this is a good tech tip for everybody out there that's doing this at home and wants to learn how to do the proper buff job to get that concourse look. Now, when you paint your car, you will get dust specks in it. Trust me. I don't care how clean the environment is, dust is going to get in it, and you will have to color sand it out.
To D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So what we're going to be focusing on today in this little video is as you're buffing the vehicle and you come across a spot that has dust, because we've already color sanded this down to 3,000. We hand sanded it with 1,500, and then we came back with our DA with wet sand 3,000, and it's buffing out very nicely. But I noticed that there was a lot of little specks of something in it. What it usually is, it looks like dust, but it's not dust, because what it usually is the clear coat in the air is drying so fast that when it falls down on the car, it turns into little dust specks and then falls on the car, and then of course that's the last layer of clear, and then it looks like a dust speck. But what we're doing is we are buffing section by section, and then what I'm doing is I'm checking that out now. I was just buffing up here in this area, and I noticed there's a little dust speck right here. And I don't know if you can see that, but right in this area there's a little lump right there, and when you run your finger across it very lightly, you can feel that that's a dust speck that had fallen into the clear. Now what I'm doing is, as I'm buffing, I'm watching very closely to make sure that I got all the dust specks out of the paint. And when I do find one like that, this is how we are going to fix that problem, so we don't have to come back later and deal with it after the car is all put together, or whiny cry customers that say, hey, look at this, all right, because that is a situation that my friend Pete has to deal with anyway. So let me take you through the procedures of how to get that dust speck out as you are buffing your car. And it's very simple and very easy, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our block, just like you see here. Now this is our block that we went ahead and block sanded with 1,500. And of course I got a piece of 1,500 on here. This is a used piece of 1,500. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this edge right here, and we're going to go ahead and sand that out to get it down flush. Now this is 1,500 that I'm using, and all I'm doing is lightly sanding. I'm putting force on it, because the way that we want to sand that, we want to be able to run our finger across that where we don't feel nothing. Now I will tell you, as I'm fixing this, I have 3 full wet coats of clear on this, so I am not worried about burning through the clear. So that's another thing, that's another issue that you got to worry about, is how much clear did you put on this, and can you even do this at all. But using the edge of this block is going to make me contain myself into that area. Now if we were working on the roof, I would do the same thing. I would use my block, the edge of my block, on the dust speck that I found. So now that I see that I don't feel it anymore, and what I'm doing now is I'm basically concentrating on this part of the block and holding it in an angle just like you see there, and just, you know, really digging in to get that out. And another thing, if you notice, I'm not using a lot of water. I'm just using the water that's on the block itself. We don't want to create a big water puddle here. So once that's done, what we're going to do next, we're going to go ahead and get a piece of 2,000, and then we'll go ahead and just hand sand that little area there, 2,000 it, just like this. And I'm using a lot of force. I'm forcing down on it with my thumb, and trying to buff that as I'm sanding it, because that's what we want. We want to try to buff that down, get it as smooth as we can, get those 1500 grit scratches out of there. And I'm also overriding the area. Our dust speck was right in this area here, so I'm going this far from each side to get her done. So now I run my finger across there and I don't feel anything. It feels nice and smooth and I don't even see it. It's basically gone. And now we can go ahead and come in with our buffer, put our compound right in the area that we're going to buff, and go ahead and rebuff that area only. Once I look at that and I can feel it and look at it at the same time, I see that our dust speck is gone and we are now at the restoration equivalency that we want to have that nice high quality shine that it takes to do a paint job like this. So I will immaculately go over section by section, and when I find a little dust speck that I missed, I will repeat my process on using the side of my block with some used 1500 and then coming back and hand sanding that area just like I did here with 2000. It's a time-consuming job when you're trying to be precise and get it perfect to the liking of the customer. If you were doing this for yourself, you might not be this picky, but my friend Pete likes to do everything top-notch, just like I was working on my vehicle to make sure that it comes out the best way possible. A car doesn't leave my shop until I am happy with it. Just like the bottom of this car, when I painted it, there was dry paint on the bottom, so yesterday I jacked the front end up and I went ahead and repainted the bottom of that and blended the clear up into the paint that's on here now because I wasn't happy with it. I could have left it like it was. The owner probably would have never said anything about it. He would have loved it, but I would have known that it looked like shit and that my name is on this car, and I didn't want to let it go out the fucking door that way. So if you're that type of guy and you're very picky and you want it to be just right, follow my directions, and whenever you see a little dust speck, don't wait until you buff the whole car. Fix it as you're buffing the car, and you're going to save yourself a lot of time and a lot of problems from coming back to the problem to fix the problem with the solution that my friend Pete just gave you of the situation that you're in right now. We'll see you later. Take it easy and good luck on your restoration of your classic car.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.